Yeah, we're doing an audio test. This is to find out basically how this mic does compared to this one. Today, we're going to be talking about how you don't need a lot of stuff to be happy, but you do need a requisite amount of power or influence, admiration from others, respect, validation, and all that. So you don't need a lot of stuff, but you do need security, safety. The more friends you have, the more safe you are. The more enemies you have, the more insecure you are by definition, because an enemy is a security threat. Whether an enemy is a human or a non-human, whether they're in your past, your present, or your future, an enemy is something that is working to undermine you. Now, of course, that can be a benefit, like in opponent processing, when you have someone who is powerful and you are competing with each other and they can show you your weaknesses. However, most of us are not trained to enjoy being made to feel like a loser. And so most people actually benefit, most people do not benefit from what we're talking about when we say opponent processing, or it could be a good thing to have an enemy. All of that will be fleshed out during this course, but suffice it to say that security threats are synonymous with insecurity, and that our course is designed specifically to reduce insecurity. Now, to be able to reduce insecurity, it actually is true that you have to know how to increase insecurity. So we'll be covering that as well. It's actually quite simple. We all know all of the things that we're going to be covering in this course already. It's just that they haven't been put together for us in quite the way that we're going to do it here, which means that there's no new information, no new words. We can say this at 5-year-old level. This material can be taught very easily at a 5-year-old level, and that's actually exactly what we're going to be learning how to do. We're going to speak more slowly as we need to. We're going to repeat things. We're going to say things, but the ultimate goal is to say a very important thing at uh, at whatever scale, 5-year-old, fifth grader, or a fifth-year PhD student in English literature, or philosophy or physics. We're going to use, because we have so many experts that we're surrounded by, we're going to make this message so attractive and so obvious that it becomes the only thing. I mean, it'll be the thing people jump to when they basically you're having a complaint, or you're having a gossip session, and then you have a branch in the road. The branch is just leave it as is, as a gossip session, but as like a commiseration, and yeah, isn't it terrible, things are so unfair, oh, he's such a bitch and she's such a terrible asshole, blah blah blah. So you either there, or let's do something about it. So you don't need any advice for how to keep gossip as gossip. But this course is here to, if you want to take the other path, to turn gossip into growth. And so complaints into cures, whatever other metaphors you want to use for it. This is about how you don't need stuff to be happy, but you do need some amount of power. And so the question of how do you go getting more power? And what this has to do with God, what this has to do with the unconditional, how meditation is related to this, how success, spirituality, and science are all related, because they are all actually forms of power. And so, and they're something that they converge on power. And that convergence, or that harmonic, or that horizon, or the singularity, or the focal point, that is, the heart of the matter, which is still just the tip of the iceberg, because that's what's in consciousness. What's in consciousness is the tip of the iceberg, what you're aware of on a moment to moment basis, but there's so much more underneath the surface. What appears to you is your desire or your complaint, but how about that whole structure underneath that is out of consciousness at the moment when the desire or the complaint arises? That's what we're going to be covering, and we're very excited. So I hope this was a useful sound test. Hope the mic wasn't terrible, so that at least we might be able to use this content later on. And just very excited for the future. It's bright, bright indeed. Talk soon. Happy New Year.